Hello and welcome to the new episode of Healing the Healer, the series. We're still focusing on the art of New Age healing. And today with me, I have my lovely niece, believe it or not. This is when I get email as of see I'm older, even though not by age, with a love of African hierarchy and family trees, you could be my older sister. But I have a special guest with me. We are related, and she happens to touch on the healing aspect of my conversations. So previously I've been talking to people that use other means to be able to share their healing journey. But with me today is the person that actually went through a healing journey. So she'll be taking us through her story. Her name is Vuyiswa Mbambisa. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Finally, I get to talk to you.
Yes.
And I'm grateful that you're my second guest that will be live and face to face, unlike all those Zoom sessions.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here. I remember you asked me if I had watched your series, and I was like, oh my God, I was actually just thinking about it, that I actually need to catch up.
Yes.
And you were like, actually, I would like you to come. And I was like, do I want to be there? And I was like, actually, I would be honored. I didn't even hesitate. Something said, hey, you've got to be there. And I was like, I would gladly do it. And besides the fact that we're family, she's my aunt, my
Auntie Bay.
the rich auntie. Yeah, so I'm really honored to be here, Gogo. And like you said, I'm Vuyiswa.
Yes.
Mbambisa. Igama lasemzini Gogo Mavelakhashane, Mkhulu Mavelakhashane.
Yes.
So siyathokoza siyathokoza.
Siyabonga ukuthi nifike, siyabonga ukuthi niqhamuke ngoba kwesinye isikhathi lamakhehle sihamba nawo don't want to show up, they don't like the screen.
I know.
So kumele sincenge, kumele nje sishweleze sibacela ukuthi babe khona, bayeke ukuthi igotshana labo likwazi ukuthi likhulume, mabevela futhi siyathokoza. Kanti ke just to get to this point. Okay. So take us through a story. Who is Vuyiswa, even before we get to Ike?
Oh, Vuyiswa, I am the divine. I am the divine, the child of the divine. I am love. I am light. I am a vessel of what needs to manifest of all the things that I've mentioned, which is love, happiness, joy. I am joy. My name means Vuyiswa.
Yes.
So I am that. I am really a vessel of God's expression, on this realm, on this plane. I am the child of my ancestors. I'm a child of those that have walked before me,
Yes.
And I'm a learner of life. I'm a seeker of truth. I am just here. I'm a spiritual being having a human experience.
Yes.
And I'm a mother, and I'm a sister. I'm a daughter. I'm a grandchild. I'm a niece. I'm a niece. So I'm multifaceted.
Yes.
I'm multidimensional, because that's what we are as human beings. So I'm ever evolving. In who I am. But that is what I identify myself as. That I'm a child of the divine. I'm a divine being. So that is. And I'm a healer, I'm a Mkhulu, I'm a Gogo, I'm a lot of things,
Right.
Yeah, so.
Lovely to meet you, and we'll get to know all these different parts of you. But when you're looking at, so there is Vuyiswa, the female, firstly the human, and then she is female, and she is a descendant of many females within your family, and then you became a mother, and once upon a time you were a wife, and you are also a sister, and probably a whole lot of other roles within the spiritual space. So how do you play those different roles? Is Ikhetla the one that now dominates your life, or do we get to just see Vuyiswa relaxed,
the one thing I've learned throughout is to allow myself. We are fluid as people, so I have refrained of assigning a particular role. I am, like I said, I'm multidimensional as a person.
Yes.
And we are as people. So I have learned to work with that energy, to allow that energy to flow through me, but I think with a sense of awareness and surrendering to that, then I am able to just come into that, organically, without, forcing it or denying it, but just to work with that energy at that time, and it has been, it's been a learning, of saying, I cannot just be this and I have to be seen a certain way, but just to work with that energy and just mold it at that time and say, I'm in this space, how do I best work with this energy that is manifesting at that time, and allow it, and just to allow spirit to work through me, and having that ear to say, but why now is the Ekehla coming out, what is it that is required now? Why is this, now this feminine energy, sometimes you go from extremes, from being this feminine energy to this masculine energy in like one point, and just being conscious and constantly aware and present to that, I think for me is what I've had to learn, and just to surrender, because I think when you surrender to things, it becomes easy to allow that energy to flow through you and work through you. Like I said, I'm a vessel, and as a vessel, you allow yourself to be molded. It's like, the potter, you are being molded to what is required at that time. So it's just being, for me, I've had to learn to just be constantly present every time and see what it is that I'm being asked to do and why this manifestation is happening. So that is how I've learned to manage or integrate those different roles, within me.
Okay. And do you still like conduct a normal person's, I wake up, I go to work, or things will come to you? Usakwazi ukuya kwamlungu uthi basi ngoba ngiyazi ukuthi amakhehla awayithandi umuntu.
Not be told. I don't know, fortunately or unfortunately, I am self-employed right now. I had to leave work in 2016. I've been out of work, like in mainstream, I was in corporate banking. And I came back after my initiation thinking, it's all going to be honky-dory, back to normal, my life's going to be normal. And one day, like, and you're like, no, we don't want you here. And like, but how am I going to live? And it's been a journey of trying to figure out what it is that they wanted me to do. But I must say, being able to just wake up and just be able to meditate and not having to rush to the office, know, and I mean, yes, I miss the high heels, I miss dressing up. I miss dressing up, but hey, I love the freedom that comes with not being in corporate, and just knowing that my day can be anything. I might have it planned out, but it will turn out totally different, you know. And I work with kids, so for me that is just a breath of fresh air. They are just like, they just bring a whole perspective of life. So I've had to, people have asked me, are you thinking of going back to work? Yes. Have you sent CVs? Are you sending CVs? And we were talking
oh my God.
About I'm a CV, like serial CV senders. And I think I just got to a point to say, I give up. It will happen when it needs to happen. But with that, my day is not the same. Every day is not the same. I wake up, obviously I've got to work with the kids, take the kids to school, I've got a daughter, be a mother, I've got those roles, but every day is a different day, it just plays out differently. And I think for me, that's the beauty of not being in corporate, of being, boxed in a cubicle, waiting for 4:30, but anything can happen, it's fair game, and it's just, for me, it's just, that's the beauty of that freeness of saying, my day will turn out any way. And you are open to it. And I'm open to it, even though financially, it has certain constraints, but, just knowing that I don't have deadlines, I don't have anybody breathing down my neck to say that reports, and I'm sitting with the kids, they are shouting, they're screaming, they're making noise. I see a client, I can see 2 clients and 2 different people presenting 2 different challenges, and I've got to wear different hats. So my day is just can be anything, you know.
Yeah.
It's never cast in stone, and you know, like I can be like, oh, today this is what I want to achieve. But over and above that, I know anything else can happen. So
Wow.
I'm loving the freedom of not being, you know, in the 9 to 5.
No, there is
Yes.
joy, but
Yes.
the money is definitely missed.
Yes.
So, for people that are curious, because I think some people have that perception, you would say, Oma, usenzlozini, or now you've become a healer and usendumbeni, all you do is just follow instructions. But from your view, do you still have other things outside of following the calling that inspire you?
Oh yes, definitely. My biggest inspiration is nature.
Yeah.
Gosh, and nature is our biggest teacher. That is why I love being in nature, and I think not being in the office gives me that opportunity to say today, ngiyavuka, you know, Mihlani, today I'm going to the river,
Yes.
or you know, I need to do that somehow, you know, and yeah, because nature, you know, I just get so much inspiration from nature, and how it just teaches us, you know, the lessons that, you know, you can just align them to everyday life,
Yes.
you know, and just so I don't have to be Indumeni. That is the one thing I've had to learn post my initiation.
Yes.
That as a healer, your healing does not begin and end Indumeni. Indum, but it's just another resource, another tool
Yes.
of doing the work. But every day, you know, I am doing the healing. You know, I will bump into a complete stranger and we have a conversation. And I will realize at that moment that, you know what, was that me talking? I don't think that was me, you know. Or there's something about this person, you know, that I took out, and that healing was for me, you know. So it's the reciprocity that happens every day. So yes, I am in my jeans. Sometimes, yes, I've got amapai. Sometimes I don't even have amapai. I don't have a bushadu, but that does not stop the healing from taking place, because we are healers, all of us, you know. We just need to constantly activate that in ourselves and just be aware, you know. So yes, it did not end with after Utwasawami. It does not end in Dumbeni, you know. I do the healing work every day, you know, every day and every minute. So yes, I don't know, maybe I'm like that allows me to do work, but also I get people who are like, go, I'm like, but I don't feel like strategy.
Yes.
Can we respect the craft? Can we respect your people? Can I respect my people? You know, so you just kind of like assess out, see, you know, where am I required? What is it that I'm asked to do? So the healing work never stops. You know, it never really stops. And also my daughter, she inspires me every day. You know, every day. She just makes me become a better person. You know, she just mirrors things all the time. You know, she's an old soul. I always say she's an old soul. You know, she's such an inspiration. You know, and her resilience, that innocence, that is zest for life. You know, even when you're like, oh my God, this journey is too much. I can't anymore. Why me? You know? And then she reminds me. She will say something, and I'm like, oh, it took a 12-year-old to tell me that. Hello, you know. And then I remember, you know, saying we all have a purpose. And I just embrace my purpose. It's sometimes heavy, you know. And sometimes I feel like, why can't I be like other kids? You know,
don't have to worry.
Yes, can I not just burp randomly, you know? You know, when you're like sitting in a restaurant and you're like, that was untimeously, you know. But you realize that we're all different, and our calling is our calling, you know. And so I embrace it every day, you know. I embrace it every day, as challenging as it does come. But yeah, I feel blessed. I feel blessed that I actually allowed myself to be that vessel that, you know, I've been asked to be. It's not easy, but it's very fulfilling.
And you touch on the fact that your daughter is part of the things that push you to do stuff. And so you have people that you have to deal with, you have voices that you have to listen to, you have dreams that come up. So what motivates you to wake up the next day and tackle that task? whatever the task may be it go heal somebody, go build a relationship there. What keeps you motivated to just wake up every day and say, I'm facing today with whatever that comes, and I will touch or finish every task given?
You know, for me, it's just waking up. You know, when you wake up and you realize that you're breathing, you just know that you've been given another chance to do what you've been called to do.
Yes.
You know, for me, breath, that breath, you know, when I wake up and I open my eyes, and sometimes I'm like, I'm so tired, you know, I just want to sleep, or I can't do this, it feels heavy, you know. But when I wake up and I realize that it's not over,
Yeah.
you know, it's another day, it's another task. It's like, why are you here? You know, why are you here? Remember, you know, when I remember to say there's something bigger and something greater out there, you know. And I think just knowing that I've got this life, you know, that has been borrowed to me, my daughter, you know, when I see her and I'm like, I've got to keep on being this light, this beacon of light to her and so many others, you know, for the mere fact that I've got this breath that has been breathed into me and I open my eyes, it means the light is still shining and that light still has to be a beacon for others.
Yes.
So it's those little things that motivate me, and just to remember, constantly remember that, you know what, there are these different parts of me that I'm still trying to remember.
Yes.
So there's still another part out there that is still having to come together, you know. So it's just those little things, you know, as difficult as life is challenging, you know, you just remember to say, you know, why am I here? There's something greater and there's something bigger that I still need to do.
Yes.
You know, and sometimes spirit, just that quiet nudge from spirit to say, we're here, we've got you, you know, it's going to be okay. You know, my family, you know, my friends, the kids I work with, you know, so much motivates me, you know, and just remembering, I think that constant remembering of saying, who are you? Why are you here? You know, what's your purpose? Your purpose is bigger than you just waking up and going to sleep, and it's something bigger that you are here for and that you've been assigned and called for. And I think also, like you said, you know, the dreams, the voices, those things, they remind you to say, hey, remember, I'm gonna care, you know, vuga, you know, vuga kesha, you sebenza, you know. So it's, the motivation comes in so many things, you know, when, like I said, the elements, you know, like nature, when you hear the birds chirping, you're like, wow, life is good. You know? Like the sun is shining, you know, it knows when to shine.
It does, right?
You know?
It's like now it just decided to give us a light.
You know, yes. So it's those little things that just motivates me, you know, it's not really massive things, but just the little things, you know, just breathe, knowing that I'm alive, and give thanks to that. And for me, that would be my offering to go out there and do the right things and what it is that I've been asked to do. So
And it's not always like that, you know. It's not always like that, but we get to integrate our lives and live in the moment and join whatever society's mean and way of living is at that time. And now we live in the times of social media. And I think what is interesting with the social media and the healing journey is half of the gogos that you find on there. So that's the aspect that I want to look at today, Lucy. What is your views on all these people that readily are having platforms on social media that they use to either, I call it sometimes soliciting, giving consultations on screen, you know, like now you can watch this many episodes because now I'm giving you this tip and that tip and that tip. And maybe it's different views, but as far as I know, when you get into your space of initiating, you're actually not initiating to be someone, you're initiating to connect with your gift, however that your gift is meant to be. And yet, we get into this, it's almost like school. You know, people have different intelligence, they have different gifts, they have different talents, but we were all trained in the same syllabus. So just say one, so we must learn 1+1. Which is no different from when we say Pekwe, but we're still different beings. And then those people take that type of learning and then they come to social media and they dish out information just like I was taught. They may put a spin to it, but the point is, wonke umuntu uzomfundisa into eyodwa ukuthi okay, mangabe una uphuphi hashi, this is what it means. Meanwhile, there is so much in the background that you cannot be generalizing and sharing information. You need to listen to kwanedlos nalomuntu ozakuthi lithi. So ukuthi umuntu uhlutshwa ugijimelwa yihashi ebuthongweni. It's because they're saying you're lazy, your money's around the corner. It's different meanings. So what is your view on this readily available, unsolicited advice and tips and whatever?
We can't have this blanket approach to everything and everybody. So the space can be used in an educational way to demystify things that are being said about ubungoma, about penis in general. We can use that platform to educate and enlighten and information sharing. I think we also have to be responsible and mindful of what it is that and how we are sharing that information. Because yes, we live in an age of information, but too much information sometimes can be detrimental. So for me, I think we also need to get into a space of discernment. Because now and again on my WhatsApp statuses, I will share words of wisdom, because it's something that maybe there's something I've observed or something I'm feeling called to share this, words of wisdom that have come through or something, and so for me it's, yes, the platform is there, but it's about being responsible. We need to be responsible in how we use that platform and the ends that we want to achieve. So I won't say it's a bad or good thing, but it just depends on how demystifying a lot of things demystifying a lot of things about ubungoma and the healing process and journey itself. So I'm okay with social media, but just for responsible usage.
And I think about it somehow, but I wonder how other people work, because even for me, who's not so actively, I wouldn't say I don't actively heal people, because I use other avenues. I do coaching, I do sessions sometimes, even with the writing, even with engaging with people, or words are healing. It's part of the process. But now I find that at times there's times where you need to shut down. People are different, and the healing work is different from everybody else. So we shouldn't judge. And
We're not judging.
No, we shouldn't judge, because I think what is interesting in terms of, and I normally ask my guests about, because they use social media a lot, and I ask them about what is different in terms of how they present themselves online and how they present themselves in real life. But I think in terms of your space, I want to bring it back to unabantu who stay in the spirit realm. Like they physically here, but they stay in the spirit realm every time they're connected. They don't have downtime. How are you managing that? Do you find that you always connected and you need to always be listening, or do you ever just get this is Vuyiswa's weekend,
Wow. Like my daughter would say, it's tricky.
It's tricky.
Mommy, it's tricky.
Wow,
Gogo, they, like you said, you've got to be in constant mode of connecting with self. When you're with self, you cannot, I don't think, it happens where you feel disconnected from self. But I think we are supposed to be in constant connection with self. And as there are times where you're like, no, people not today.
Yes.
It's been a month of you being like, can I just breathe?
Constantly connected.
Constantly connected, constantly trancing. There's this inside joke with the other Gogos that, Coco, she will constantly be in trance. She will, in any moment, this one will go into trance. So I think it's a fine balance, it's a fine balance, Coco. Like everything has to, be balanced and in harmony. Sometimes it's easier said than done, where you like, okay, there's my downtime. Go now. Can I just go out? Can I mingle with people? Can these energies not be everywhere? So you find ways to manage and work with it, and sometimes it just overwhelms you. You're like, you walk out and you're like, I'm going out, today.
Yes.
And they're like, we are here.
We are here.
We are here. You're not going anywhere. So it can be very challenging, Gogo, where you like have to keep that balance, and harmony. But sometimes yes, you do feel like the world is too much, the negativity, and I think that's also one of the reasons why I'm off social media. They took me off social media because I don't even own a TV set, by the way.
Oh yes.
I don't own a TV set. I listen to radio at that time because I try and just not be in that energy. When you're constantly in energies, there's certain energies where you just gotta be like, this is too much. Because even with radio, sometimes my car radio just shuts down, switches off. Like, what happened? It's not going on. But I know that it's like they want me to be quiet. They need me to listen in. So I don't know if that answers your question. But it's like really, it's working on that balance, constantly finding that balance of saying, when do I just be out there and when do I go within? Sometimes you've got to tell yourself that, I need to go within. Sometimes it just happens where you're like, I'm just connected to stuff. I can feel it. I know it. And everything around you is like, it shuts down. You don't see, you don't hear things. Yes, you're here in the physical realm, but you're not here. You're just in another place. And I think just also being surrounded by people who understand me and who know that, okay, Vuyiswa, she's in her mode. So let's let her be, or are you okay? How do we help you out? So
okay. No, I inzima yona sham inzima. Banokuthola ephathini and there you are. There you are in the middle of the party drinking champagne and you are burping your life away and you start seeing people's problems and hearing their thoughts and you're thinking, okay, am I supposed to now go? Or and somehow the people will just find a way to come to you when they start just offloading their problems and whatever else. I don't know why I'm telling you this, but I need to tell you this. But I need somebody to talk to.
Somebody said I must just come to you, and they're like, I need to tell you. I think if I have a secret boss, over years, I think if I had to like open it, it was so scary. The amount of secrets people have told me, I don't even remember. But
it's best if you don't remember.
But you know that at that moment, that person needed to offload. It just helps them also just, I suppose, ease off, and it's actually amazing when I'm not even wearing my beads or not wearing my hair and they don't even know what I'm Mkhulu and they are there and they were like, and you're like, this person, it's like they're sensing, this is where I'm going to get my help, and you've got to sit there and listen and, have this empathy and sympathy and just listen in, and you're like, I'm supposed to be at a party, right? I'm supposed to be on the dance floor and
like letting loose.
Letting loose. That is, it's an interesting life, I must say. It's very interesting, but hey.
Okay. We'll get back to a bit of how is it to be off or on, because I like to say that because you connect to the energies and be able to pick out messages. So I look at other people and say, hey, I don't want to Google you. And they're like, but I don't have anything on Google. I'm like, no, not that Google. I mean the other Google. Let's just introduce yourself and be who you are, because even though I can pick out that you're lying, even though I can pick out that you're just telling me a story and feeling bad, but okay, let's not Google people. Let's be in real life where people give us PowerPoint presentations.
Or somebody says, can you see what's happening with me?
Yes.
And I've not got a screen that's on, like a TV that's permanently playing.
And they're like, when I walked in, what did you pick at?
Did you see anything? I'm like, people know, please.
Take us back to the beginning, because I doubt that anybody who's been on the healing journey, whether you're going through it as a healer or you're doing it to heal yourself, nobody just gets to, now I'm going to your twasa, or I'm just going to now put efforts and start finding out things that will help me heal. There has to be a person before that. And if I think about you, went to school, studied, got a job, had to have the married kids, white picket fence. So Who was Vuyiswa at the beginning before Vuyiswa had to take up the calling?
Hey. Wow. Vuyiswa, right? Vuyiswa was this young, ambitious woman who was like going to take over the corporate, who had dreams that, you know, at this age, I'm going to have a corner office.
Yes.
You know, I'm going to be a manager. I am going to shake, you know, the space. You know, I was the weave girl,
Yes.
the nails girl, the stilettos, you know, power dressing. I had these aspirations of being this woman who, you know, was just going to make a mark in the world, in her space, you know, not having a good time, you know. Yeah, you know, I had the home, the marriage, and, you know, so it was like, you know, as we're taught, you progress naturally. But even with that, somehow I kind of knew that there's something different here, you know, something's going on. I kind of feel like sometimes I'm not sure if this is really for me, you know. But I was like, anyway, I'm going to stay this course. This is what society expects, you know. Travel the world, you know, I'm going to just live my life. I'm going to be myself, you know. I'm going to own my space, you know. I'm this woman that knows what she wants, who has these big dreams, you know. We had lived in an estate, you know, golf estates, and young then. So it was like, people like, oh, you guys, life is good for you guys. At this age, you're living in an upstairs and, you know, golf estates, and, you know, I, you know, was like, I'm getting there, you know, I'm getting there. I'm liking how this is panning out, you know. I was in corporate, I wanted to make my mark there. Life was good, you know, material stuff was there, and I was having fun, you know, wanted to be a young woman, but somehow deep down inside of me, I felt like, no, this is not me, there's more to life than this, you know, and then things started going downward. There was a downward spiral where my health was failing me, and I could not, for the life of me, figure out what was wrong. I mean, I would spend time going to the doctor, taking sick days from work, and things were just not working. And in hindsight, actually realizing that this actually started a while back, but I always thought, it's just no life happening. And I always got back on my feet, you know, and I carried on and soldiered on. But then it got to a point where I was constantly ill, and I was not enjoying anything, you know. I was in and out of hospital, and work wasn't fun anymore. You know, I would go to work, and then halfway through the day, I'm sick. I have to go to the doctor. I'll go back home. I'll wake up in the morning. I'm not feeling too good. I can't go to work. Things are just feels like things are falling apart. I'm not happy. You know, I can't pinpoint why I'm not happy. My marriage is falling apart. You know, there's so many things I was dealing with, but for the life of me, I was like, no, I do not see myself with dreadlocks. I do not see myself with beads, you know, because you have this image of who you are and the roles that you want to play. You think you are those roles, you know. And then the reality hit me to say, you've got a calling, and even that did not make sense to me. I did not understand. But what are they talking about? Calling, what is this calling? You know, who Sangoma how? There's no Sangoma in this family. I don't see any Sangomas here, you know. So it was something very foreign, you know, and I was just trying to make sense of it. And it's like, but no, this is not who I am. You know, I mean, Gogo. No,
I'm too much of a snob to be
I'm
a
a mistake, you know. Mistake, you know. It doesn't fit this picture of who I'm supposed to be, you know, in my life. And things started really happening, you know, really happening. It was getting down to the wire, and I had to make a choice to say, I am going to tread into the unknown territory. The fear that consumed me of the unknown. And I think for me, the aha moment was when I realized that my selfishness can get my daughter into a jam. And I was like, I'm not going to be that coward. I have no idea what this means, where it's taking me, but I know there's a 360 turn that needs to be made here. And it's going to cost me a lot. My life is going to change.
Of course.
Because my life had started changing. Because, you know, when you guitar in the middle of nowhere, you are in your heels, you're supposed to go to the office, and you're just guitaring there in your kitchen, and you're like, what just happened?
Yeah.
What is this? You know, can somebody tell me what happened here? And I think I was lucky. I had Ukoko that was helping me just like unpack this. As hard as it was, and it did not make sense because, you know, you see life in the 3D. You see life in this, and anything else does not make sense. It's like, but how do I even explain what I'm seeing? How do I mean, it got to a point where I would be like, no, I think I have an over-imaginative mind.
Yeah.
I think it's not what I think I saw,
Yeah.
you know. Or, these were just weird dreams. I'm having really weird dreams, you know, and that wouldn't make sense. And I was like, am I going crazy? Something is happening. I'm not okay, you know. I know I'm not okay. But who do I tell, you know?
Yes.
How do I explain to somebody that this just happened or this is happening? And I remember one or two people would tell me, like, no, that's not possible. And I'm like, but it happened. Or it's happening, or I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
You know? And I remember seeing this Coco in my bedroom who was like, hey, we're waiting for you. Am I dreaming or is this real? You know? And I remember I sat up and I was like, who is this Coco? I don't know her. And she's wearing all these clothes that I don't know.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, you know what? I think I'm going crazy. And I need to be hush because I'm in the body.
Yeah, it's very easy for people to take it there.
Yeah, people are going to take me there, you know, and once I'm in the lonely bin, I'm going to be stuck there, and I don't think I'm crazy. And eventually, I just made that decision to say, I'm going.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no answers for this question I have, but I want to take a leap of faith.
Yeah.
And I'm going in there with blind faith because I see what I see.
Yeah.
And they have shown me things. And can I trust that I'm not going crazy? It's real.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it may not be real in this world that we're in, but in another world it's real. And I remember, it got to a point where I would be walking in the middle of the road or the streets, and people were like, so what's Mkhulu? Mkhulu. Who's Mkhulu here?
Like
I'm a woman.
Gender.
You know, gender wise. Like, you know, the body's there, you know. And they were like, so what's Mkhulu? And the burping was just getting out of hand. You know? I would burp anywhere, anyhow. And I was like, and you know, you can't control it.
No.
You can't control it. And eventually I was like, I'm going. I'm going to do this. I don't know how, when, but it's going to happen. And I could feel that there's a shift that is about to happen in my life.
Yes.
My life is about to change. It was scary. It was so scary. And obviously, like anything, you have naysayers.
Yeah.
You're like, no, we tata, you know, we.
But sometimes we forget, you could see, even like higher is not one aspect, because as much as you were raised Mbambisa is not even your father's surname, for example.
Yes.
And the Mbambisa is not even your mother's surname.
Exactly.
So you have those links, as much as Ukulele Mbambisa, who probably were not acknowledged, because your journey unlocked a lot for the family. And it happens that way. I always tell people, even my friends, don't think you're my friend because we like partying or we like same clothes or whatever. There is a link. We are all probably soulmates. We sat down in some, and it always sounds funny that we all sat down in some boardroom in a celestial world and decided we're going to Earth. You are going to have that lesson, that lesson, and that's the purpose. We're going to meet up. When I get to the point where, if I think about it, I've had a lot of people that they know deeply and instinctively they know they need to either go through a healing journey or Vuyiswa or just be present with spirit as it drops. But they're scared and they're thinking, maybe you look like you're handling it well. Then they'll call. So how do you do this? Why are they doing this? I mean, I'm not ready. I mean, I can't do. When it looks like you have it easy, like nobody has it easy. All we're doing is remembering why we said we are coming, remembering how to connect. So if I'm willing to, I can always tell you it's easy or it's hard, but it can be as hard as you resist it or as easy as you open up to it. So there's that in the beginning, is firstly remembering the fact that we all come from one source, and from one source we decided to come and experience life in flesh. And while we're here, we just need to remember what we call purpose, but like what life lesson did I come?
Yeah, to learn.
And life lesson for me, I find that relates to love. So I want to learn about the committing part of loving. I want to know about the forgiving part of loving, which then almost unpacks the path that we're going to walk. Because you're going, if your role or your lesson is trust, you're going to get into situations that are going to question your trust about people, about things, you trusting yourself and whatever. Because all these lessons must lend, and you're going to get helpers along the way. And it's all the people that think they're just your friend, or they're people that are more advanced in terms of information, but we're all there for each other. Nobody knows more than the other. It's just about how open are you to information coming in and lending at the time. Which is all great. Now, you had to make a decision to be selfish, because that's what it is, actually. In the beginning, you're thinking you're here to live, to relate to people, to meet up society's demands and set plan of, by now you should have finished school, by now you should have. And we carry all of that guilt, if I can put it that way. If your spirit or your conscience tells you to do different, you carry the guilt of, no, but I can't. What will happen? You carry that fear, actually, of what then happens. Well, what if these people reject me? What if this doesn't work out? What if now I'm isolated? I'm meant to be around people, but this journey isolates you so you can remember and recall yourself and recall who you are. But there's always that breakthrough, that point of saying, it doesn't matter. Should I lose my family? That's it. Should I lose my husband? That's it. My daughter is mine, I need to raise. But at that point of you recalling yourself, you almost need to detach from the role of being a mother. You detach from the role of being anything but
your true, authentic self.
Yes.
That's all it is.
And so that then gives you the exact breakthrough where you make that decision and consciously say, I'm ready to stand alone because I know I'm not alone. Where did that come from?
Yeah. You know, I think I had so many of those, and I just kept playing them down.
Yeah.
You know, or downplaying them actually. And I think, like I said, I remember going to fetch my daughter at school, and she was still like, you know, kindergarten. And I got with her, and her foot was swollen. And I panicked. What's going on? You know, Nana, did you? And she was like, no, I'm fine. You know, she was very agitated, like just being alone. And she was like, but my foot is not hurting. And I just had that moment, like, you see what's happening now.
Yeah.
Your denial, you know, and you know, you know, they say, Mavelakhashane,
yes.
It hit me to say, okay, now they are trying to really get my attention. You know, I mean, I've had other things that have happened, but I've just been like, it's that, you know, it's fine. I'll do this, you know, to just get through this and that. And I remember calling my granny, and I said, this is what's happened. And I was crying, you know, because it hit me then to say, what's happening, you know.
Yes.
And she said, I hate to tell you this, or I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but you know what's happening. I think you know what's happening.
Yeah.
You know, manje sebekushaya ngokwayo, you know. And I was crying on the phone, and I said, yes, I know. And there was a voice that said to me, you can't be a coward. Are you going to put this cross on this child because you were a coward? And the second breakthrough I had is when Spirit showed me. I remember this vision of what I would become.
Yes.
If I just continued on the path of ignoring my calling. And it was not pretty, Coco. I'm not going to share it, but it was not pretty. I'm ready. I think I'm ready. And like you said, you know, you get to that point of saying, must give me ZG.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I know. I know that something has to give.
Yeah.
Either me or everything around me.
Yeah. And
my sanity, my peace. Because I did not have peace.
Oh no.
I did not have peace, and all I wanted was just peace. I just wanted inner peace, and I chose my inner peace. I chose my inner peace, and I said, you know what? I will discover myself along the path.
Yeah.
You know, I know that there's a woman, like, you know, I earlier said that I knew that I wanted to become something.
Yeah.
And this becoming was happening. You know, and I did not know how, or I thought I knew how it was going to happen, but I could sense that it was starting to happen. And I was like, you know what, right now, I am embracing the woman I need to become. And that means being a true authentic self.
Yeah.
And even if it means losing people along the way, losing stuff along the way, and just realizing that everything I've worked for, everything that I've believed in, all the conditionings I had at that moment would have to die.
Yes.
And when I was in initiation, then it became very clear that the old me has to die.
Yeah, and killing the old you is the most painful.
Severing that, because you are sitting and saying, this identity, I mean, when I went to Vuyiswa, I was in, I think it was, what, 35? At that time, I reveal my age. I was 35, and you can imagine the identity I felt of who I am up to that point, and realizing that I am not all of those conditionings, all of those things I believed I was. And Ubutwasa was definitely allowing, because you have a choice to say, am I allowing to be reborn? Because Ubutwasa is about rebirth.
Yes.
And you have that choice to say, you know what, I'm going to go in there and just
do whatever that they want.
Coming out and just carrying on. You
Yeah.
know? Even though at the back of my mind I still had it, okay, I'm going to do this. I'll share whatever needs to be shared, like it was becoming evident. But after this, I'm going to go back to my old life. You know, I'm going to get back to, you know, the flow of the outside world. But it was never to be that. You come out a different person.
Yeah, you do.
You know, that experience on its own, for me, I was like, now I understand. I think I have an idea of the woman I'm supposed to become. I am becoming that woman. I'm not yet there, but I am on my way to become that woman.
Yes.
And it's going to constantly evolve. And in that evolving, things are going to come and things are going to be going. And I need to be okay with it.
Hey.
And it's, you know it, but when you go through it, it's very painful.
Oh my
it's
gosh.
like you are cutting parts of yourself. It's like you're dismembered to be remembered, you know, in that process.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, putting back that part of me, putting back, oh, I've discovered this part of me I did not know.
Yes.
Okay, it has to go here. This one, it's falling off. Do I pick it up? Do I let it fall off? And then, you know, okay, another member's growing. Let's put it back there. You know, it feels like that. It feels like that. But I always, at that moment, I knew that I am going to stay true to myself.
Yeah.
And in being my true, authentic self, I will be ostracized. Things will happen. But I also learned that I cannot take it personal.
Yes.
Because I am also learning. I'm trying to figure this out along the way. So I need to be gentle with the people that don't understand. Because I'm also in the process of understanding.
Yes.
So I cannot expect somebody else to have it figured out when I myself have not figured it out. So that's when I learned to be at peace with what needs to happen and at peace with the fact that people are going to fall off the wagon along the way.
Oh, they
And
do.
it was not personal. It's nothing personal. It's part of the journey. Like you said, like, oh, I'm going to be with you for 5 years. After 5 years, I'm gone.
Yeah.
You know, but then in that process, you also deal with other issues. You know, the rejection. You feel like, I'm being a rejection again.
I'm doing this again. I thought we were done.
Yes, you know, and you like realize that it's actually not rejection. But that process brings out the shadow self. You know, brings out the issues that you have not dealt with or you're not even aware of. And then you're like, oh my God, I'm here. is this what it's all about? Is
Yeah.
this the lesson? All this time I thought it was about this, and like, oh gosh, I wish I knew this 2 years ago. I would have just been far.
Yeah, I could have avoided
I could
all of
have avoided
this.
all of this. All that unnecessary headache.
We wish, hey, we
Yeah.
wish. So my thinking in terms of the gift of being a healer, your first gift that you're given is things that you need to heal. And I guess that's part of the title of this series. That understand that as a healer, you're first going to have to understand your healing. That you're going to be given things that you're going to have to heal about yourself. So we then carried the, and I don't want to see, because you need a state of maturity to understand that it's not a burden, even though it feels like it at times, because the spirits that you also then channel. Because we don't get to the core and the truth all the time, you then may carry and channel spirits that also need healing. So before you even go crazy, big, would say, hey, I'm a Rosami, now now you need to understand what was their history, how did they live their lives, because then you'll understand how much they carried without healing while they were alive. Because I truly believe that at some point we choose death versus kate. Like I've tried, I knew there was things, they felt too heavy, I can't. Which is why we say, we keep dying. So for me, the healing is that point of every time to live, something has to die. It's that duality. But it's not even about the physical death, but it feels physical because we hold on, man. We don't like letting go. We really, really do not like letting go. So as you are going through your journey and the people that you are finding in your space that need your assistance, or even the issues that you've had to work through for yourself, is there any common theme or pattern that you've discovered?
Yes. Yeah. I've had this conversation with myself so many times, and for me, there'll be times even when I would have signs, symbols, synchronicities. I know it sounds very overrated and common, but love. That all that it is it's just love. When there's love, everything just falls into place.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking love in terms of romantic love. Love. Self-love. Because we are love.
Yeah.
We are love. And when we understand what we are, when you know thyself, everything falls into place. And love for me has been, I think, my biggest lesson. Love for self, love others, love. And because when you love yourself, the love you show another person comes with empathy, comes with sympathy. You experience joy, you experience happiness when you are in love.
Yes.
When you understand love, all those things just fall into place.
Yeah.
And I think with love, we will probably not have all these thousand wars we are having.
Oh man.
We will not be killing each other because we would understand that the love I have for myself is the love I have for you. And for me that has been the biggest lesson.
Yeah.
The biggest lesson, and how I've had to actually love the people that have done me wrong. To say, I love you regardless. I know you did what you did because of whatever reason.
Yeah.
As a human being, you are loved. You are doing this because you don't understand that you are loved. You don't have love for yourself. I mean, you look at somebody who's self-loathing.
Yeah.
The things they do to themselves and the things they do to other people. So for me, that has been the biggest thing. I've seen love hearts in the water. I've picked up a leaf that is made out of hearts. I've known love when I've experienced joy, when I feel love, within, inside, and it just feels like you're just like I know it feels like so, like, oh, happy,
yes.
you know, but
In your
it's-
bubble.
Yeah, you know,
exists.
it's like being in a bubble, but for me, that is my reality, you know, and that's my lesson. And people are like, no, but there's other things more than love. You know?
Yeah.
But for me, that has been to say universal. One thing that is universal is love. People seek love in all sorts of places.
Oh, they do.
You know, even
Actually, we do.
yeah. So for me, love is that one universal thing.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah. So that is my biggest thing amongst many others. But for me, that is one that I've always carried within me. To say, hey, don't forget.
Hey.
You know, don't forget uthando. You know, everybody ufuna uthando. You know, and it's something that I've learned that it's actually within. It's not out there. It's inside of you. So yeah.
And you gotta give it to receive it. I think other people think,
Oh,
wait,
yes.
I must be shown love first,
Oh.
and then they think the process goes the other way.
Yeah.
Similar to people that will say respect is earned, but if we're all thinking respect is earned, who's going to respect first?
Yes.
Same with love. Everybody thinks, and now that we're so untrusting and so hurt and we're so traumatized, we have so much body pain. We don't have space, or we don't give space to loving.
Yeah, because love makes you, I don't want to say makes you, it appears like you're vulnerable,
Yes.
you know, and people don't want to be vulnerable, so
No.
they shut down, you know, they shut down, they like, no, I got hurt when I was showing love, I got traumatized when I was showing love, I got wounded when I was, you know, when I was showing love, but remember, because we don't understand what love is, and it's not coming from within, then these other things manifest. So it sort of becomes like a vicious cycle to say, okay, I'm going to shut down. I'm going to put up this boundary, this wall, you know. I'm not showing love. No, if you're going to show love, well, you're doing it at your own risk. Yeah. You know, it's your own problem there, you know. So don't expect me to show you love, you know. And, or when you show love, you're weak. Yes. You know, you're allowing the hyenas to come and, you know. And I feel like in love, I'm actually in my most powerful space. Oh, yeah. But it takes a while to get the hang of it, you know. I haven't got it all
drive
together.
it.
Yes, because sometimes, you know, the traumas and the wounds come back, and I go into that space like, no, I'm shutting down, you know. Yeah. And yeah, like I said, you know, you start picking up these traits that you need to heal within yourself, your traumas, your own wounds, you know. Yeah, so. Hey,
because then the sound, you know, I think what we're not aware of is that fear has a voice, and that voice sounds so familiar. And it's so familiar and so loud that you can hear many people talking, but they'll sound the same to you. And it's that trigger word, it's that tone, it's that presentation, and it shows up like, see, I told you. This is not gonna work. It's not gonna work.
And you have to remember and have a talk with yourself. Say, actually it will work. I've done it differently before, it's worked, and you know, it's just silencing that voice, you know, that voice that keeps getting louder and louder, and I think it's part of the learning, you know. And I mean, earlier we had a conversation that, you know, sometimes we think when we go to Twasa, it's going to make everything hunky-dory. Actually, that's when the work begins. Yeah. Because the shadow comes out. The shadows come out to play. Oh, it does. They come out to play, and I'm not sure. No, I'm not about that. No. Not now. And they will keep coming back in different, and you are going to be given people's situations that just are going to force you to start healing that. I mean, you know, there's a meme I saw that I keep seeing lately that says, we don't heal people. The healer heals themselves. Yeah. And in them healing themselves, they allow other people to do the same, you know, to heal themselves. Yeah. You know, so for me, it also says, okay, why do we go and heal? Why do we to heal other people or to heal ourselves? You know. But I get it. But also, you know, sometimes you have those conversations, especially post Idwaso, where like you're just trying to integrate because you're so like isolated from everything and everyone. You know, and you have your own reality at that, and then when you come out, then you have to come back and integrate. Yeah. And it's like, wow. Okay, and you're like, oh, I've got it together, I'm here now. And then you realize, like, no, actually, it's starting now. Yeah. It always starts now. Like, oh my God, really? You know?
I find sometimes that it's almost like the process says, if you don't naturally remember, if you do not allow yourself the space to recall, to connect, you then need a catalyst. And the catalyst then is that process of all the struggles and the hardship you go through before initiation. So in my view, initiation then becomes a training of the body and the mind. The soul is already ready. The spirit is ready to be in its space, in where and doing what it should do. But we have the mind conditioned, brainwashed even. You have the body that's been holding trauma and pain, that it's scared, but it doesn't open up. The mind doesn't quieten long enough to be silent. So you need to go through that process of initiation. If you actually find people who understand what it means to be connected to spirit, they will help you to quieten down. They'll help you to be able to move your body in a sense that moves energy, that's receptive to good energy, that is able, so you can get back to feeling your instincts, to be able to hear if it's not my voice, to be able to distinguish and discern if am I sick or am I channeling someone else who's in pain, because we are connected, which is why healers then have what they call the power to, I hear your thoughts, I hear your feelings, I pick up your emotions, I can hear your people, because we are all connected. But if your mind is not quietened, if your body is not ready to receive these things, so someone else who's receptive is going to then be able to hear or see your spirits or be able to connect to you. And then we give them that role and the power of, oh, now they're the healer, now they see things and they do this and they do that. But actually, other than the process that they then teach you and train you on, now you can shaya matambo and whatever. All it means is that because, and you were talking about your love for nature and your inspiration by nature, because all things are one in energy form. So it means, Gutsi, that healer is able to hear messages via the bones or see the messages in the bones that not all healers or zonke zangoma will be able to. Other people will be able to listen to the sound of the water and pick up the vibrations and the messages from water. So we always think or look at initiation as, now I know Shaya Matambo, now ngibona ngamanzi, now mangenza ikhandlela. But all it says is that this is me recalling and remembering and getting my body and my mind used to hearing messages through this tool, which you can learn more. That's why I have the art of New Age healing, because there's more than what we were told traditionally as a Zango. And if we're stuck in that space, we are not able to move ourselves, because it means that even our healing is stagnant. Because we need to keep healing as time goes, as time moves, and be able to get new messages and be able to connect differently. But we don't, because I mean, it's our way of connecting to the rhythm of Mother Planet. But if we don't do that, and you were not trained in that manner, you forget how to, it's that you pick up. I mean, the energy is always moving, which is why I love mushrooms, because then you can actually literally see the vibration of earth. And when you put your foot, you realize that my energy moves into the earth and we are one. Literally the body disappears. But that's a topic for another day.
Yeah, that one is another topic.
Because other people who are so embedded in society, material, fleshy life, they don't get to experience that. They're never going to believe that.
Yes, that's true. I think what you're talking about is the alignment. Because we, like you said, we're all interconnected. We are not separate.
No.
We live in a very separatist society, that everything is in silos. Everything has to be seen in silos. For this to make sense, it has to connect to this. And if this doesn't look right, then it's not connected. Everything, that's why I say nature is my greatest teacher. Everything is in cycle. It's cyclical. And that is what we are as well. We are part of the cycle, the circle. The trees give us oxygen, we breathe out what the trees need. I think because we live in a very noisy society, we are so misaligned. Or we think because in Twasile, you have people who don't even have to go by your Twas but they're gifted, and that is their gift. And it does not mean it's any less than mine, or mine is more than theirs. So it's just always constantly remembering and realigning. We're in a cycle of realignment and alignment, realignment.
you know, because you could be able to connect, but at some point you get disconnected.
Yeah.
And you have to remember, and then you're aligning, you go back into that circle. So everything flows in a circle.
Yes.
And I mean, if you look at Tina Gwantu, we knew that.
Yeah.
We knew nature taught us. Even Orlando, we lived in Orlando. We knew everything was cyclical.
Yes.
You know, and everything has its time and its place. But you know, even the foods we eat and everything, just to make a simple thing, so that we can understand this process of healing. And, you know, that it's just about aligning. You'll have somebody who has never trusted, but because they're in constant alignment, they're always connected.
Yeah.
You know, they're connected. They are not, you know, abakwazi ukufunda amathambo, abakwazi ukuthini, but because they're in constant alignment, they know how to align, and they know when they're not they're not aligned, they get back to it. And they're able, because in that we are moving. You know, there's a spiral of movement. We are ascending, you know, because we know, okay, now we've got to move beyond this level. Now we need to move here. You know, I mean, even the tree of life shows us that, you know, it starts at the roots, then there's that, and then you branch out eventually, you know. So for me, it's just that, to say that process of alignments and realigning.
Yeah.
Constant. It's constant. Hence, we say it's change.
Yeah.
We say the one thing that's constant is change. That change is that alignment and realignment of us.
And the ever-changing seasons, because we think, you know, it must always be summer, and then it gets too hot. Then when we get too hot, we want the rain, and then it rains, and then we think it's raining too much, I can't do anything, I can't go anywhere. And then autumn comes, and it's like things are falling apart. And then the winter, instead of going within and, you know, spending that time and waiting to come out and spring new life. No.
Yeah. No, because Coco, we live in a society that is so disconnected. We don't understand that on its own is a way of us understanding with how to live. You know, to say, it's winter now.
No, I have jackets and boots.
Yes. And winter wants us to go within. It's that time of going within, reflecting, of hibernating, of taking care of self, you know, and then spring will come when it's like, okay, let's see, you know, and then it's time to shine.
Oh my God, the people on YouTube are gonna think we abuse kids. No, they're just being naughty, and they're crying because whatever they're naughty with has been taken away. Just before they call the child watch and say, "Hey,
no child is abused here. No child is abused.
No animals or children have been harmed in whatever way."
Yeah. So and it's just how we are living, it's just so out of sync. I mean, we want to do in summer what gets done in winter.
Yes.
What gets done in winter, we want to do it in summer or autumn. And you know, even the foods we eat.
Yes.
You know, we are no longer eating according to seasons now. I mean, you can go to Woolies and buy something that's off season.
That's off season, of course, and higher price.
Yes, you know, and our bodies work on a clock.
Yeah.
And for me, it's those little things. It's just those little things, you know, that help us always connect.
Yeah.
Always connect. And, you know, we look at somebody like, oh, this person is able to do this.
Yeah.
What's this, you know, and we think this person is special. And there is really absolutely nothing special. I'm not downplaying anybody, but I'm saying it's just that if we learn our own rhythm, as Okokonkanyis, you've got your own rhythm.
Yes.
You know, your people have their own rhythm. I mean, as they lived in this plane, they were different. So obviously, you know, you're going to have a different rhythm. Sorry, I'm going to have a different rhythm because I work with different people. You know, my spirit guides, my ancestral helping spirits are different.
Yes.
So if we can but that rhythm, if we are all vibrating, then you can imagine the collective rhythm that happens. And I mean, we will get to a point, you know, you see movies when people talking
Listen,
through the thoughts, you know. Imagine getting there.
I really would have loved to live in such a space.
You know,
because right now it's few and far in between and random. I know a couple of people that I connect with, and I think for someone to understand what it means, it's that of you could be thinking about somebody and then they call you.
Exactly.
Because we do have the power of telepathy, but we don't really fully embrace it and get into it. Yeah.
Person can do that, and we're all gifted with all of these gifts. It's just that, you know, if we can just get to a point where we can connect, you know, really understand ourselves and be present.
Yes.
You know, present enough to hear when spirit talks to us. I mean, spirit talks to everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody.
It is in all of us.
It's in all of us. You know, there's nothing. Yes, we all have our superpowers. You know, but we all have that ability to connect. We just need to be present. We just need to be there. You know, and
be able to wusa.
Please, just
I think we take that for granted. Wusa.
Breathe.
You'll find that in traditional Zulu go sangoma initiation, that moment of quietness is when ePhehlweni they make you wash dishes, they make you clean the yard, because that's quiet time. So you're training your body not to, and your mind not to think. It's
You're
just you are present in what you're doing and you focus, and that's when your mind quietens down and you connect. Whether you're cleaning, whether you're sweeping, whether we are gita, because then again you are telling your body this is us now going in rhythm, and you're raising your vibration, and that's when you connect. Or the person who is then into yoga, who will then go into a position that relaxes and moves the bloodstream in a certain way. And you know, they go
even going yoga, go to a point, that's a countdown.
And
That
then
process,
yeah.
you are in your own moments. You're
and
connecting with the earth.
Oh my God.
You know, different herbs and plants, and then here you are, just that process of just, you know, that moment of quietness, and you know, that was just connecting. You're connecting with the earth, with yourself. You know, you are in your thoughts, you are in your mind. You know, what are you doing? You're raising your vibration.
You are.
You know, if you look at Tola before, you know, that's whole. And it's Batimo is Sangoma. We are Tola, we are Kita, we are. So that whole process, you know, you just, you know, being quiet. That walk. You know, as you're walking and you're singing, you're singing in unison.
Yes.
That is energy, it's vibration.
Bringing connectivity.
Yes. You know, so it's those little things.
They're so outdated, they're so boring.
Yeah, I mean, I have to go to a yoga studio to just connect. And there's little things you can do in your own space that help you connect.
Even starting a garden and talking to it.
Exactly.
And helping something come to life and talk to us.
So what is it that talks to you?
Hey, we need to discover these things. We need to discover. Okay, we've had so many topics covered already. And I think you may have touched on this or not, but what do you treasure the most about your gift?
Wow. Yeah. Oof.
I like the fact that when I go to the mall, I almost talk my car into finding parking. Like I already go there with I need to find parking closer to the door, and I drive around, and just as I get on the lane, the car will be pulling out. Like I love those things.
I wish my daughter was here to hear this, because we know we genuinely have this conversation, and I'd be like, thank you to my parking space.
Yes.
Like, didn't you
The
just what
traffic
happened?
guards.
We just got parking like, near to the mall. We didn't have to drive around and look for parking, you know?
Oh, this, where do I even begin? Where do I even begin, Coco?
I know.
There
I
are so
know that.
many things I treasure, and I'm so grateful for. My gift, I think for me, just that ability to transform somebody's life at a moment, and not even doing it intentionally.
Yeah.
You know, that's having that impact on somebody without you even consciously thinking that, you know what, I'm going to have an impact on this person's life.
Yeah.
You know, meeting a complete stranger and talking to a person, and you're like, yo, thank you. You know, it feels like I was supposed to meet you, you know,
Yes.
or you just said something profound.
Back when.
You just said something profound. Oh,
That's
and
right.
we've got our little spirits here that have decided to join us.
Because they're loving the topic, I assume. But now
And
they're
so
just
full of
standing there.
smiles.
Come say hello to people on YouTube. No, there's no cocomelon here. We're talking serious stuff. Come say hello. Come here. To me. Not to Sokange move. Hey? Oh my gosh. Say hello to people on YouTube because you like things. Say hello to people on YouTube. Hello. See yourself there. Say hello. Hello, people on YouTube.
And then she does it on the other.
Hello, people on YouTube. I'm the naughty one. I'm the naughty one that won't let Auntie work. Because I must touch everything.
See, these are the little things that
And you've been saying that you work with kids, so I think that's why they've been insisting on coming online.
Yeah.
Go to Kazi.
Just want to come to cousin.
If she's here, then we can continue because she can be very.
Yeah, it's fine.
We've got our little spirit.
This is spirit just here choosing to join us.
I think these are the things that I also treasure for me, the connectivity with kids and old people. Because they are very connected to life, they're very connected to wellness, to loving, and they're true about what they like and what they don't like. They're not going to pretend.
So
if I want to be here, I want to show up. Look how good you look. Oh gosh. There you are. Okay. There you are. And then they're going to send messages to other people, so lock your screen. Oh, they know how to open it, but yeah, it must still be locked. Okay, so we joined by the naughty youth while we finish and talking treasures. Our little treasures.
Hey, funny did she say that?
Oh no, she loves saying hello. She really loves saying hello.
So it's that and my daughter, hey?
Yeah.
Oh, she's a treasure, that one. She's got so much spunk. She's just a package on her own.
Yeah.
You know, my family, hey, my granny, always, she's been my treasure for the longest time, that one. You know, and Joggo, there's so many things I treasure. You know, I don't have, you know, in life there's so many things that just are awesome and, you know, just hold me in awe, you know, in awe, and my spirit tribe, you know, the people I meet every day, you know, complete strangers, you know, yeah, and those priceless moments, just those priceless moments, I treasure.
Awesome. Can we continue with our interview without you disturbing my guests? Wow. The little treasures that are also troublesome. So talking about family, you used to be very close with your mom and then with your brother. Now that you can connect with spirit, do you ever get time to speak to them?
Oh, yeah. Yes, I definitely do. Especially my mother.
Yeah.
Especially my mother. And with my brother, it's not as random and it's not as easy, obviously because of certain reasons, but I do feel his presence again, you know. And but my mom all the time, sometimes when I go off to sleep, you know, I feel her presence in the morning, you know, anytime, you know, and her reassurance now and again, you know, saying, you're okay, you'll be okay.
Yeah.
And those are, for me, are some of the moments I treasure.
Yes?
I treasure those moments. Yeah, so I definitely do, and I think that's the beauty also of having been able to, you know, sit and have that conversation and not think, oh my gosh, people are gonna think I'm crazy, or crazy, you know, and you're like, and you know, just having a conversation is a fair bit. And I usually tell my clients that, look, you know, the people that we think are gone are actually the ones that we have the most connection with. We think they've left us, we are alone. Actually, this is where they're actually more present, because now
they don't have to deal with life.
Yes, there isn't all these other conditionings that they held, you know, they're just there, you know, because they've seen what's on the other side. You know? So they are more present than they've ever been, you know. So talk to that person and feel like, yeah, they're here with you. Have a conversation. And if you listen enough, you'll actually hear the response.
Oh, yes.
You will hear the response.
Because they don't have to worry about bills, they don't have to rush to work. They're just moving between realms and having fun and sending out messages and okay. And I mean, most of it is because our value system is made up of family. It's made up of the people that have gone before us. So I think sometimes people think that when you are a healer, then you value more your ancestors and you don't look at God, or you have other values. Now why are you being abusive? And we're looking because now we must see what you're pressing so I can open it next time. Okay, we need to continue with our interview with Melo. Okay, Melo. And now, so we're talking peer support, and peer support is connecting with other healers and finding support or even offering support or participating in spaces that are about healing, whether for yourself or when people develop themselves to be able to learn something new as a tool or as a method that could help their customers or the clients that are sent to them. So in your space, who do you have for support?
Ooh, I have my spirit tribe, my tribe. I've got so many of them. I don't have one specific person. I have this group of healers, who we support each other. I participate in different groups, whether it be WhatsApp or physically there, we meet, we do work, we talk about our challenges as in the space, and I have those where I know when I'm really having a rough day, I can pick up and call them and talk and just unpack their whole space for me. So I have a couple of those, and I have one couple who we can talk for hours, and people know already at home. They know that, oh, we know who she's talking to. She's been on the phone for 2 hours. We know who she's talking to, and we'll talk about everything and anything, and these are my safe spaces, where I can just be me, I can be me, I can be my most vulnerable and say, yo, Koko, Mkhulu, yo, today Spirit is showing me flames.
Yes.
I don't know what's going on, I'm losing my mind, or I can't figure out, what's going on. This is what I'm seeing, or this is what's happening, and for the life of me, I'm just in the woods about it, and just people who will call you out, who just honestly and genuinely call you out when you're like, no, go. And it's coming from a place of love, it's coming from a place of love, and they are just growing you, and those will just offer you support, and who will like, yo, Gogo, you're doing great, and you're like, oh, no, I don't feel like that right now, I feel like the world is on top of me, and they're like, look at you,
you're transitioning.
Yeah, look at you, you're doing good, oh, Gogo, that work you're doing, it's awesome, keep it going, oh, hey, Gogo, you know what, you need to up your game here. So I have my tribe, or like, Gogo, I think maybe you must go for the session, it might help you.
Yeah.
And you actually, sometimes you're like, nah, I don't get it, but you go and you're like, actually this was
amazing, and it was exactly what I needed.
It's exactly what I needed. It's helped me. I'm not fighting for that phone.
Yeah, no, it's always like this. Okay. We have a problem. We have a problem. Hello. Okay. Some people should not be invited to interviews, no? Because they're naughty and silly. And life lessons. One of the life lessons I have for you guys today is that when you have two Mbambinos that are naughty and hyperactive, you can never do an interview at home. What has been your life lessons, though?
Oh gosh, I've had so many of those.
Yes.
I've had so many of those. One is the power of surrender.
Yes.
The power in surrendering is beautiful. It's liberating. It's it just helps you alive.
Yes.
And the other life lesson is that when you're in a storm, be still. A storm will pass.
Yeah. Don't fight it.
Don't fight. Just be calm, be still. The storm will pass.
Yes.
The storm will I'm being forced to unlock my phone.
No, we don't unlock phones. We're going to call people and tell them lies.
You know, be still, the storm shall pass, and truth.
Yes.
Always speak your truth and stay in your trueness.
Yes.
Because when you are in your trueness, you will align to what is for you. Because you are going to,
Yes.
you know, when you are true to yourself, you the alignment.
We don't need an operator, Zanago.
The alignment will happen
Yes.
organically, and what is for you
Will be
seamless and effortlessly
at the time that it should be.
There'll be
agree.
divine timing. So those are the lessons I think out of it. And
Yes.
self-love. Self-love.
Uh-huh. Hey, and it's a rough one. Self-love for me is a rough one. It is always part of our self-development. But we need, you almost need to expose yourself to things that are going to push you to that self-love. You need to get to a space where are we going? You know? But I suppose sometimes life is as simple as this, like trying to figure out where are you going, exploring what is next, what can I figure out, what can I learn about my surrounding and how to be in that space. I think be as curious as a child is, as much as we keep saying they're naughty. Because obviously they damage our material things. But for them it's just that
Self-discovery.
yes. That's all it is. That's all it is. So in terms of exposure, how do people find you?
I'm
Because you no longer
I'm
on the
not
social
Facebook
medias and
social media. Generally, it's to be referrals. You know, people will say, "Oh, I know Coco so or Coco Mavelakhashane. They can help you with this. You can talk to them on this." And yeah, so and yeah, so I don't generally advertise my services.
Yes.
Like I said, it's usually word of mouth, and it's people who like refer, like, oh, Coco Ghanese, you know, so Coco, oh, I think Coco Boy might help you with this, you know. And, yeah.
Okay. And then do you have a particular thing that you find you attract similar customers, or is it like anybody I think in the street, or I can come to you? I think I have Idlozi, I can come to you, because there's different things, and some people are like, okay, I'm good with kids, so anything kid related I can help, or anything that is an ailment or a disease to the body I can heal. Do you have specifics? Oh, I can just, because now people are seeing you and they're going to think I need to consult, so I need her number.
No, I don't do bring back lost lover.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
I have to bring back lost lover.
Wow, I might as well add it to the caption. You need to bring back lost lover. Call. Go.
Generally, Coco, ngiyahlola. Ngiyahlola, that's my specialty. It's okay. Let's see, you know, because you find that sometimes you also hlola.
Yes.
And then only then, you know, you're like, okay, you know what, this is how we tackle it, or you know what, I know somebody who will be better equipped, you know, at helping you with that particular thing, you know. And sometimes it's just counseling, you know. I do a lot of one-on-one counseling sessions with people. I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a registered counselor or anything, but we find that hola.
Okay.
I do.
Oh my gosh, my technical team is moving equipment around. Have you ever? Because just now the laptop will go off. I said I don't plug my pillow. That's why I'm trying to get her back here. Yes. So we are Shola?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So people can call you.
Yes, they can call.
We must check there, like what people can call you. All right. So, in terms of your spiritual knowledge, what do you keep doing to develop yourself in terms of your gift?
Like I said, for me, just interacting with my tribe, that on its own is self-development for me. I read, I research stuff, just self-connecting with self, because then I get guided with what it is that I need to do next, what I need to focus on, and generally I'm one of those people that I like to listen to spirit. That is where I get my guidance in terms of what now I need to start, working on, and I go on retreats, I go on retreats, and with those also, it's self-development for me. But my constant interaction with other healers and reading and research and just, allowing spirit to guide me into what they want me to do next.
Awesome. And I think you've developed so much patience with having the little ones running around. I don't know how you work with them every day. I just need to love these two. I just need to love this too.
But the ones I work with are slightly older than
Yes.
these ones.
They don't have so many issues.
But I think this is definitely...
Yeah. Hello, people. Say hello. Hello. Do they see you? You're smiling. Are they gonna like you? Now, where are you going?
She wants the phone, darling.
Where are you going? I want you here.
Come on.
Either you sit here or you go to Gogo. You sit here or you go to Gogo. What do you want to do? Huh? What are you gonna do? Okay, we are wrapping up. Behave, okay? Behave. Yes. Behave. One of daddy lap. Okay. So, what's next for Vuyiswa?
What's next for Vuyiswa? Gogo. I don't have anything to say.
Okay. We don't plan.
Yes,
because we know God loves.
We plan all we want, and the Spirit says, "Okay, we are here.
Yeah,
we've got a different plan."
Yes.
But all I can say is the plan, obviously, is to just keep on growing, to keep on making a difference in people's lives. Just having, just being conscious, purposeful, and faithful in people's lives, and I know Spirit will guide me through that, and I know there's work that they would like me to start doing, but obviously,
it will land
when, there's divine timing, everything in divine timing. So yes, I've got plans in my head, the things I want to do, but I know spirits and Mkhulu, my guides will get me to do it if the time is all good for me to do that. So yes, I'm just waiting for the year to end also.
Oh yeah. Can the year and all the problems we've been going through just end? Like we have come to the end of this interview. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you got valuable information, and feel free to contact me. State your question in the comments if you should. Ask for the number to consult, or would you mind if we give out your number? How do they contact you?
You'll give it out for going somebody asks for it.
Okay. So if you want to be in contact, go for a consultation. Uyohlola. Do not be afraid. Do it. Show up. Show up for yourself. Be like kids. They could not sit long enough to wait for this interview to finish. They decided to show up, and here they are, occupying our space, because that's what we are meant to be. We need to be beings that show up and live up our truth and demand the things that we want out of life. Because just like we fuss over kids and whatever they want at any given moment, I think Spirit also does that for us. It's always ready and willing to give us what we truly desire.
I just got a message right now.
Yes.
When you said that, Spirit just wants us to show up and meet them halfway. That's the message I just got now. To say they're there. They're just wanting us to show up and meet them halfway.
Yes.
something you want us to do.
So, like Miss Zana over here, show up, show face, say bye-bye to people. Tell them thank you for tuning into Auntie's episode. Thank you for watching Cousins Knowledge Sharing and Information. So until next time, until the next episode, with more guests, hopefully mostly invited, unlike these uninvited ones. Please keep tuning in. Please keep sharing, liking, subscribe, and join us again as we interview our very next guest. Any parting words?
Thank you, Papa. Thank you, Amagu.
So go.
Thank you. And I'd like to thank Spirit for allowing us to be here and to have this information, sharing our lived experiences. And one day, and whatever it is that you seek, carry on manifesting.
Yeah. Just call out and
Just
shout.
call it out, just call it out what it is that you seek. And Spirit will definitely meet you halfway. That's one day Mkhulu, and may this platform grow in lives and bounds in educating and sharing with others,
Yes.
And may be light, love, and peace to everyone.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I need to go now. Zana says she wants my attention. Goodbye, everybody.